Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
What would I do without you?
Good evening. Welcome to the meeting for June 11th, 2024, Township of Springfield, County of Union, State of New Jersey. This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231, and adequate notice of this meeting has provided by a notice sent to the Star Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the Township website. Please join retired Major Mark Krause in leading us for the Pledge of Allegiance. From American Legion, Post 228. Please remain standing for 1 second for a moment of silence for our soldiers overseas and at home. Thank you. Roll call.
Mayor Weber,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Laufer is absent. Committeeman Capides?
Here.
Committeeman Huber?
Here.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Present.
Okay. Proclamations and announcements. We're going to start with Springfield residents age 55 plus. Calendar for June 2024 is out. You can get it at the rec center. You can get it online. It is a completely full calendar. You got to go check it out. Activities every day for the month of June. Farmers markets open every Monday from 11 to 6. Stop by. 11 to 6, they're still at the library, so at the parking lot over there, not the parking lot, sorry, the front yard over there, take a stop by. Springfield Uni Project presents Juneteenth at the Chisholm Community Center, Friday, June 21st, from 4:30 to 7:30. We started that ceremony, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, and that's been a great ceremony every year. Garbage collection has increased to twice a week, and will continue through Labor Day. Garbage will be collected Monday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Friday. So make sure you put your stuff out. My block has been pretty empty lately, so a lot of people are forgetting. Monday and Thursday, Tuesday or Friday. We have today started the first meeting of the tennis club. There's a new tennis club for women in Springfield. They started playing tonight. If you get a chance, look them up online. They're looking for members. I think right now they probably have 15 or more, so it's pretty good for a startup. Right now, we're going to do the presentation of the Environmental Commission Awards by Allie Miller and Hortense Diaz. Now, we got to get you something to talk from up there, so hang on 1 second.
Those are better.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody. Hey, I'm Hortense.
One request. Can you just bring it down and talk into it a little bit?
Sure. Good evening, everybody. My name is Hortense Diaz. I'm with DASNY. I was thinking of work. I'm with the Springfield Environmental Commission. Allie Miller here. She's our chair. We ran a art contest this spring, and we invited the public schools to participate. And we wanted to thank, first of all, Dr. Goldberg, the superintendent of public schools here in Springfield, her staff for supporting us this year. The art contest was the wildflowers are beautiful. So this is like. Okay.
Yeah, let it, honestly, the louder you talk into it, the better it's going to be for the audience at home.
Okay. We want to remember that wildflowers are not only beautiful, but they provide a critical habitat for pollinators. They are a food source for small animals, and they hold nutrition in the soil. We also would like to thank the Department of Public Works, the Township Clerk, the Township Committee, for all their support throughout the year. We had hundreds of art submissions this year from all 5 public schools. Today, we are presenting certificates to the top 15 students for their outstanding creative presentation of the importance of the role of wildflowers in our ecosystem. We are also handing out little bags with seed balls to all 15 students. It was a difficult choice, but nonetheless, we did choose one piece out of each school that was a really great art project. And those children will be receiving a water bottle from the Springfield Department of Public Works. So throughout their creative expression, the students communicated a message of hope for our future and our planet. We're going to start off with calling out the students from Edward Walton. And the first one we have is Lucy Anesta. Is she here today? Some of them are not. Hi, Lucy. Congratulations. The second one is Lila Embeck. You know what? I'm forgetting the certificates. So, Lila and Lucy. Okay. And the third student from Edward Walton is Camilla Moskal. She's not here. Okay, James Caldwell students. Layla Retegui. Noah Candle. And Magnolia Friedman. All right, now we have Sandmeyer students, Anthony Acquisisto. Abigail Martinez. And Emelina Sital-Gertz. From Guardinier School, we have Luca Montanari. Valentina Tiziano. Okay. And Taylor Trippett. Some of the students aren't able to be here tonight, so finals are going on this week. I don't think any of these kids are here, but Sabrina Diaz from Jonathan Dayton. Molly Martyrs from Jonathan Martys. And Lila Carroll. All right. These students are all studying hard for their finals, so.
Thank you for your participation, everybody.
Sure. Could we have all the children come up?
Give it to Cook, though. He don't talk that long.
All right.
All right.
Ally and Hortense, thank you and the whole commission for what you do for the township. It often goes overlooked, but it is so important for us and the longevity of our town. And it allows me to drive irresponsible cars because you plant extra trees to handle my emissions and everything. I got yelled at by Hortense 2 days ago. So, thank you. Yeah, the idling. But you know what? I accept it. I know. And I know that I can't do what I do without you guys doing what you do for the community. So thank you. And for reaching out to the kids and getting all that stuff done. I truly appreciate it. We all do. Thank you. All right, now we're going to go to the Officer Awards presentation by Chief John Cook. Let's go. We're having some microphone difficulties over there. I kind of, we will get this repaired by next meeting. I don't know what's happening, but yeah. John, just shut that one off. If there's something on it. There you go. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I'd like to thank everyone here tonight for being here, whether you're here supporting or receiving an award. I know some officers couldn't be here due to scheduling conflicts or they're working or family obligations. So I do appreciate everyone getting here and any family members or friends that may have come and support. It's been a bit since we've been able to do this. Some circumstances beyond our control that tend to get in the way of getting these good things done. But there's been a lot that have taken place over the past 2 or 3 years. I think we go back two. Past year and a half, maybe 2 years, that we're finally getting to recognize our officers. So the captain and I are going to take turns with this. All right. If officers, Sergeant Estevez, Officer Trotman, and Officer Grello, if you guys can step up front. We're going to try to get through this quick. I know it's a lot of hot air in the room, especially with me talking up here. But all right, I'm going to give a brief synopsis. So on September 6th of 2023, Sergeant Melissa Estevez, Officers Brian Trotman and Jose Grello responded to the 6th hole of Baltusrol Golf Club for a reported CPR in progress. The officers immediately began providing life-saving measures to the patient and applied the defibrillator. After delivering a shock, the patient regained a pulse and their condition improved. Patient was transported to the hospital and survived. The officer's quick response and aid rendered directly contributed to saving the patient's life. For their actions, Sergeant Melissa Estevez, Officers Brian Trotman, and Jose Grello are being presented with life-saving medals.
I'd like to call up Officer Brian Trotman, Officer Jose Agrelo, Officer Boris Yusupov, and Sergeant Kevin Gilchrist. On March 1st, 2024, Sergeant Kevin Gilchrist and Officers Brian Trotman and Jose Agrelo responded to Chipotle restaurant to effect an arrest. Irvington Police reported that a suspect in a domestic violence incident in their jurisdiction had an active warrant for robbery and terroristic threats and was an employee at Chipotle. As the officers entered the restaurant, the suspect fled through a rear door. The officers gave chase but lost sight of the suspect and an extensive search involving multiple neighboring agencies began. The suspect was later located in another business on Route 22 and attempted to elude officers once again. Sergeant Gilchrist, Officers Trotman and Agrelo, and Officer Boris Yusupov chased after the suspect, who was eventually cornered by the officers. The suspect placed his hands up as if surrendering, but then unexpectedly leapt over a guardrail into a steep ravine. The officers continued to chase after him and were finally able to successfully capture him and place him in custody. The teamwork displayed by our officers, along with the cooperation of our neighboring agencies, resulted in a difficult situation being successfully resolved. For their actions, Sergeant Kevin Gilchrist and Officers Brian Trotman, Jose Agrelo, and Boris Yusupov are being presented with exceptional duty medals. Congratulations.
Officer Hope Arthur. Not sure if Hope is here. Okay. November 5th, 2023, officers responded to a residence after receiving a report of suspicious individuals possibly attempting to steal a vehicle. As officers arrived on scene, one of the vehicles began fleeing. Officer Hope Arthur began to canvass the area, and while conducting a thorough checks of neighboring properties, located the suspect hiding in a backyard of a nearby residence. Officer Arthur successfully detained the suspect, and he's placed under arrest when additional officers arrived to assist. For her actions, Officer Hope Arthur is being presented with the Exceptional Duty Medal.
Sergeant Marcos Vaz, Officer Boris Yusupov, Officer John Doherty, and Officer Brandon Manresa. During the overnight hours of March 3rd, 2023, while conducting a focused premise check of vehicle dealerships, Officer Brandon Manresa observed the dealership van with its doors open and an unknown subject inside the van. Upon seeing Officer Manresa, two subjects began to run from the scene, and Officer Manresa notified headquarters and cleared the scene of the additional suspects. Sergeant Marcos Vaz, Officer Boris Yusupov, and Officer John Doherty immediately responded to the area and began to search for the suspects. As Officer Doherty entered a wooded area, he observed the two suspects hiding behind trees and initiated a foot pursuit as the suspects began to flee. Sergeant Vaz and Officer Yusupov converged on the foot pursuit and were able to capture one of the suspects. With one suspect still at large, Sergeant Vaz coordinated additional searches with the Union County Sheriff K-9, Union Police, and with the use of a police drone. For their actions, Sergeant Marcos Vaz, Officer Boris Yusupov, and Officer John Doherty are being presented with exceptional duty medals, and Officer Brandon Manresa is being presented with Honorable Service Medal. Congratulations.
Officer Boris Yusupov, that's I asked him to stay. So. And again, there's no particular chronological order to these, so you might hear the years bouncing around a little bit. On March 30th, 2023, officers were dispatched to assist Union Police with locating a suicidal person. Officer Boris Yusupov took initiative to extend the search beyond the initial area and located the person's vehicle parked at the Hilton Hotel. Hotel staff assisted Officer Yusupov with locating the individual's room, and he made contact with the person who was in a visibly distressed state. After building a positive rapport with the person and establishing that the person had definitive plans to take their life later that morning, Officer Yusupov convinced the person to get medical attention. Once the person was transported to the hospital, it was further determined that Officer Yusupov's intervention occurred only minutes before the person planned to carry out their suicide plan. For his actions, Officer Boris Yusupov is being presented with the life-saving medal.
Corporal Danielle Cahora, Corporal Michael Waslow, Sergeant Erjan Sadar, Detective Lieutenant James Mirabel, and Investigator Louis Brito. On July 15th, 2023, Corporals Danielle Cahora and Michael Waslow and Sergeant Erjan Sadar responded to the Citizens Bank for a report of a bank robbery. The suspect had threatened to utilize an explosive device, which he left at the bank after fleeing the scene. The officers ensured the bank was evacuated and established a safe perimeter while interviewing witnesses and gathering information related to the robbery. Sergeant Sadar commanded the scene and collaborated with multiple agencies as the initial investigatory steps were taken. Investigator Louis Brito responded to the scene to collect and process evidence and to begin a thorough investigation, which was coordinated by Detective Lieutenant James Mirabel. The efforts of all the officers involved not only ensured the public remained safe throughout the ordeal, but also resulted in the apprehension of the suspect, who was quickly identified and arrested. For their actions, Corporal Danielle Cahora and Michael Waslow are being presented with meritorious service medals. Detective Lieutenant James Mirabel, Sergeant Erjan Sadar, and Investigator Louis Brito are being presented with honorable service medals. Congratulations.
Corporal Mark McBratney, Corporal Mike Lagola, Lieutenant Keith Dougherty, Detective Lieutenant James Mirabel, Investigator Adam Para, Officer Matthew Safer, and Sergeant Keith Christopher. Okay, 3 out of that list. Okay. On May 17th, 2024, officers responded to a report of an armed robbery that just occurred outside of the TD Bank on Morris Avenue. Sergeant Keith Christopher, who was the first officer on scene, tended to the victim, who had sustained significant injuries, and determined that the suspects brandished a firearm during the robbery and fled the scene in a vehicle. While canvassing the area, Corporal Mark McBratney spotted the suspect's vehicle and initiated a pursuit. As the pursuit continued onto Route 24 and Route 78, the suspect's vehicle became inoperable, and the suspects bailed out into traffic and began to run away. Corporal McBratney began a foot pursuit and relayed all of the pertinent information to the other responding police units. Lieutenant Keith Dougherty, Detective Lieutenant James Mirabel, Corporal Mike Lagola, and Investigator Adam Para all joined the search for the suspects, along with members from multiple neighboring police agencies, and the suspects were both captured and placed in custody. While the incident was taking place, Officer Matthew Safer worked at the Police Communications Center and helped coordinate the significant law enforcement response. For their actions, Corporal Mark McBratney, Corporal Mike Lagola, Detective Lieutenant James Mirabel, Lieutenant Keith Dougherty, and Investigator Adam Para are being presented with meritorious service medals. Sergeant Keith Christopher and Officer Matthew Safer are being presented with exceptional duty medals. I'm digging them out here. We're getting there.
Sergeant Keith Christopher, who is not here tonight. On October 7th, 2023, the terrorist group Hamas initiated an attack against Israel. The situation caused heightened regional tensions and garnered widespread international attention and concern. As a community with numerous religious centers and schools, Springfield's tension level was high. Sergeant Keith Christopher's exemplary leadership and dedication in coordinating the security of our community's religious assets during a challenging and concerning time should be recognized. His exceptional efforts and steadfast commitment to ensuring the safety of our community have not gone unnoticed. Sergeant Christopher's proactive approach to implementing security measures is commendable. His strategic coordination of resources and personnel demonstrated his ability to effectively manage and organize a complex situation. His attention to detail and thorough planning were essential to safeguarding our community members, schools, and places of worship as the events of October 7th unfolded and began affecting us all locally. For his service and dedication, Sergeant Keith Christopher is being presented with the Honorable Service Medal. Congratulations.
Officer Frank Kuna. Yes, you. Officer Frank Kuna displayed outstanding service with coordinating the traffic safety and parking preparations for the 2023 KPMG WPGA Championship, which was held at Baltusrol Golf Club from June 21st through June 25th, 2023. Officer Kuna worked with various vendors, New Jersey DOT, Union County Engineering, and Springfield DPW to ensure all signage was obtained and properly installed, barriers and cones were properly set up, and VMS boards properly deployed. His efforts contributed to the safety of all spectators who attended the event. Officer Kuna's efforts also contributed to maintaining a necessary balance between spectator parking and resident parking, and allowing for traffic to move smoothly through the area with minimal disruptions and complaints. Officer Kuna should be commended for his dedication and service to the police department and the public, and for his contributions in helping make the event safe and successful. For his actions, Officer Kuna is being presented with the Exceptional Duty Medal. Anybody that lives through that stuff, you know how bad that can be.
Lieutenant Ryan Westover. As we just said, the 2023 KPMG WPGA Championship was held at Baltusrol Golf Club from June 21st to June 25th, 2023. Throughout the event, Lieutenant Ryan Westover assumed incident command authority over the daily event functions of the police department and was a liaison with the state police who had internal jurisdiction over the event. Lieutenant Westover was on site before 6 a.m. almost every day to attend the daily tactics meetings and remain on duty and available until the all clears were issued, which were after 8 p.m. on most of the days. He ensured all police department event logistics were properly managed, even as far as hand-delivering meals to our personnel who are on static traffic posts. He truly went above and beyond his normal duties and has once again shown a level of dedication to the agency and his fellow officers that is rare to find. For his actions, Lieutenant Westover is being presented with the Exceptional Duty Medal.
In that the captain's the one who types up all these things in their certificates, I couldn't ask him to type up one for himself, but he was also extremely responsible for the event as well that the past two officers were acknowledged for. So I'll be acknowledging the captain with an Exceptional Duty Medal as well. I didn't want to have him type it up for himself, so. Officer Matthew Negron. On May 27, 2024, Officer Matthew Negron assisted Union Police with the pursuit of a confirmed stolen vehicle as it traveled through Springfield. The pursuit continued into Summit, and the suspect eventually turned onto a dead-end street. Driver bailed from the vehicle and began to flee on foot. Officer Negron began a foot chase and was able to tackle the suspect while running through the rear yard of a residence. After being placed into custody, the suspect exhibited signs of a medical emergency due to possible drug use, and Officer Negron provided aid to the suspect until Summit First Aid Squad arrived and transported the suspect to the hospital. For his actions, Officer Matthew Negron is being presented with the Exceptional Duty Medal.
Officer Michelle DiParisi. On October 3rd, 2022, officers responded to investigate an attempted motor vehicle burglary in the area of Essex Roads. A Upon her arrival, Officer Michelle DeParisi was flagged down by an Uber driver who believed he was summoned to pick up the suspects who were being sought by the police. Officer DeParisi immediately made her way to the pickup location that was reported by the driver and spotted the 3 suspects wearing ski masks in a rear yard of a residence. She immediately engaged the suspects and was able to successfully apprehend one of the 3 as the 2 remaining suspects fled the scene. After an extensive search involving multiple agencies, the remaining suspects were captured as well. For her actions, Officer Michelle DeParisi is being presented with the Meritorious Service Medal. Congratulations.
All right, the following are going to be DWI awards. Officer Frank Lombardi, Officer Joseph Loria, Officer John Doherty, Officer Joel Lopez, and Officer Brandon Manresa. Officers Joseph Loria, John Doherty, Joel Lopez, Brandon Manresa, and Frank Lombardi are to be commended for their traffic enforcement efforts in 2023, especially for impaired driving enforcement. These officers led our department with DWI arrest and show a strong commitment for ensuring our roads remain safe for everyone. Additional recognition is observed for Officers Lombardi, Lopez, and Loria, who were also honored with DWI enforcement awards from the Union County Mothers Against Drunk Driving for their 2022 efforts, and led our department with DWI arrest in 2022 as well. However, an extra special acknowledgement is due to Officer Frank Lombardi, who has not only led our department with DWI arrest in 2022, 23, but in 2022, he led all of Union County, in which he and 2 other officers from other towns were tied for the most DWI arrests in the county. Officer Lombardi earned the Union County Mothers Against Drunk Driving Top Cop Award for his extraordinary efforts. For their service, Officers Joseph Loria, John Doherty, Joel Lopez, Brandon Manresa, and Frank Lombardi are being presented with exceptional duty medals. There's Joel's in here. Nice. Oh, here, brother.
Joel. Officer Joseph Loria, who's not here, and Officer Joel Lopez. On August 5th, 2023, officers were called to the TGI Fridays restaurant for reported fight in progress. It was determined that the suspect had left the scene and was in possession of a handgun, which was brandished during the altercation. Officer Joel Lopez began searching the area and located the suspect's vehicle traveling on Route 22 in Union and began to follow. Officer Joseph Loria responded as backup, and the officers conducted a felony motor vehicle stop of the suspect's vehicle on the Garden State Parkway. The officers removed both occupants from the vehicle and recovered a 9mm handgun. The suspect was placed under arrest and was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm and other drug charges. For their actions, Officers Joseph Loria and Joel Lopez are being presented with Meritorious Service Medals. Congratulations.
Officer Joel Lopez. On November 26, 2023, Officer Joel Lopez observed a vehicle traveling the wrong way on Springfield Avenue. Officer Lopez advised dispatch, got behind the vehicle, and attempted a motor vehicle stop on Victory Road. The vehicle was confirmed to be stolen and began to elude Officer Lopez, ramming the emergency gate at the end of Victory Road. The vehicle eventually became disabled, and Officer Lopez approached the vehicle and commanded the driver to exit. Having no response from the driver, Officer Lopez broke a rear window to gain access, removed the driver, and placed him under arrest. For his actions, Officer Joel Lopez is being presented with the Exceptional Duty Medal.
Corporal Danielle Cahora. On October 2nd, 2023, Corporal Danielle Cahora was dispatched to the Baltusrol Golf Club for a medical aid involving a CPR in progress on the 6th hole of the golf course. Upon her arrival, Corporal Cahora immediately deployed her defibrillator on the patient and delivered a shock. As she continued tending to the patient, a faint pulse was detected and CPR was terminated. The patient regained consciousness and was transported to the hospital. Corporal Cahora's quick and appropriate actions directly contributed to saving the patient's life. For her actions, Corporal Danielle Cahora is being presented with the life-saving medal. Congratulations.
And yes, that was the 6th hole again, in case you were wondering. Sergeant Eric Knudsen. Is Eric here? I don't think Eric's here. As the police department's primary TAC officer, Sergeant Eric Knudsen coordinated the transition from the previous NCIC database system to the new e-agent program. Sergeant Knudsen not only ensured our agency's full compliance with the transition, but made sure all officers received the proper training and introduction to the new system as well. Sergeant Knudsen accomplished this in addition to his regular supervisory duties and in addition to his responsibilities with co-heading our department's firearms training program. Sergeant Knudsen has been the police department's terminal agency coordinator for many years and has consistently maintained our operational status with all required mandates and updates. For his continued service and dedication to the police department, Sergeant Eric Knudsen is being presented with the Exceptional Duty Medal.
Officer Matthew Negron, Officer Joel Lopez, Officer Joseph Loria, and Sergeant Daniel Zeezer. At approximately midnight on April 11th, 2023, while patrolling on Morris Turnpike, Officer Matthew Negron spotted a vehicle matching the description of a vehicle involved in armed robberies in Secaucus and Nutley, in which handguns were shown. Officer Negron broadcast this information and followed the vehicle closely as it parked in the front lot of Wawa on Morris Turnpike. As he observed two subjects exit the vehicle and enter the store, Sergeant Daniel Zeezer and Officer Joel Lopez arrived to assist, and the officers immediately conducted a tactical vehicle approach. 3 subjects in the vehicle were detained, of which 2 were found to be wearing ski masks. The 2 subjects in the store attempted to flee through the back of the building, but were stopped by Officer Joseph Loria as he arrived on the scene. During the subsequent investigation, a 9mm handgun with a defaced serial number and a 17-round magazine were recovered from the vehicle. The officers clearly prevented an additional armed robbery that was about to occur. For their actions, Sergeant Daniel Zeezer, Officer Joseph Loria, Officer Matthew Negron, and Officer Joel Lopez are being presented with meritorious service medals. Congratulations.
I should have asked the 3 years to stay up here, but it's nice and cool in here. Officer Joel Lopez, Officer Matthew Negron, Sergeant Daniel Zeezer, Sergeant Erjan Sadar. During the early morning hours of May 18th, 2023, officers were dispatched to the area of Forest Drive to check on 4 suspicious males that were observed in the area. Officers located the individuals who were found with ski masks and determined that they were possibly involved with motor vehicle thefts. During the officers' investigation, one of the suspects began to flee and a foot pursuit was initiated by Officers Joel Lopez and Matthew Negron and Sergeants Daniel Zeezer and Erjan Sadar. As Officer Lopez chased after the suspect, he observed the suspect reach into his pants. Officer Lopez commanded the suspect to stop and drop the weapon, but the suspect did not comply and continued to flee. Officer Matthew Negron was able to intercept the suspect, who was subsequently placed under arrest. All 4 of the individuals were taken into custody. As the investigation continued, a firearm was recovered from the area through which the suspect had been running from the officers. For their actions, Officers Matthew Negron and Joel Lopez are being presented with meritorious service medals, and Sergeants Daniel Zezer and Erjan Sadar are being presented with honorable service medals. Hang on, I don't want to wrinkle them up.
Our final award tonight is a Civilian Merit Award for Colleen Strobel. We are honored to present the Police Department Merit Award to Colleen Strobel, who is the Administrative Assistant to the Special Service Division of the Police Department. Colleen's dedication and tireless efforts have been instrumental in ensuring the smooth operation of our department. In addition to her responsibilities in records management, Colleen is cross-trained as a police dispatcher. She has gone above and beyond, dedicating countless hours off-duty before work and after work to keep our department running efficiently. Her commitments include coordinating the CAD system during downtimes, ensuring the TAC records are operational, resetting passwords for systems such as eAgent, NCIC, and CGIS, and covering phone calls during major events to allow the sworn officers to focus on emergencies. Colleen's meticulous attention to detail ensures that all reports meet accredited standards. Her collaboration with the New Jersey State Police and the FBI have positioned our department as a premier agency in the transition from the UCR statistics to NIBRS for crime reporting. Her strong relationships with surrounding towns and vendors help resolve issues swiftly and efficiently. Colleen Strobel exemplifies the dedication and professionalism that make our department outstanding. We are grateful for her unwavering commitment and are proud to recognize her exceptional contributions. She is truly deserving of the Police Department Merit Award. Congratulations. Everyone who received an award, if you could just come back up for a photo, please.
Yeah, and then afterwards, I'm going to make this very uncomfortable for all you guys and women, because I've got a few things I want to say. So, it's not so bad. Short people around me, please. If you guys could all, if everybody could just kind of hang out inside, don't go in the hallway, hang out in here. We all want to say something. Rich, you start first.
I just want to thank you all. You do a great job. You don't get appreciated as much as you should. I know most of you. Most of you know my family. Our whole family's in town because it's a good town, and you make it that way. I'd like to thank all of you. I know most of you personally. But thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, Committeeman Huber. I have 4 quick points. First, for our Environmental Commission, for another fantastic job of another great initiative. I want to thank all the children who did all of those great works, and I know that you just didn't come from home. A lot of you came from softball and other events and activities, and we appreciate you making the time for us to recognize you and the Environmental Commission to recognize you for your good work. Also would like to thank the parents, because I know you didn't come home from work, from home either, from work, from wherever you came, to make the time to allow us to recognize your children. Thank you, number one. Number two, to our officers, thank you very much for all that you do every day for us. I know that you have had certain challenges this year that you had to overcome as a group. Looking around the room, I either know or met most of you. I'm proud that you're here. I'm proud that you work with us. I'm proud of your customer service to this community. Number three, because we're all here, and I was going to do this at the end, but we're all here and we're giving congratulations. I have two more congratulations. First, for Maureen Connell, who recently studied real hard and she passed, which is not very easy, the state municipal clerk's exam. So congratulations to her on a job well done. Since she came on board with us, she has been working very, very hard and very diligently, very professionally, along with Linda, as our left and right hands up here as a committee, at least for me personally. We appreciate everything you do, and best of luck in the future. And finally, and I'm gonna admit, I'm a little biased of this, so I apologize. I would like to congratulate next week the class of 2024 on their graduation. I'm a little biased. Just want to remind you that obviously these last couple days and next week, there's a lot of things going on in our schools, end of year programs, end of year activities. When you're going through town, especially among the schools, please be aware of your surroundings. And again, congratulations to the class of 2024. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I got a lot.
You know, to the officers, thank you. You know, I've always said that it takes a village, right, and we're all a family, and that is everybody who, lives here, for one, is part of a community and takes care of it, but it's also everybody that works in the community and helps keep us safe. We're all essentially one little village, one little family that continues to grow, and you guys continue to keep us safe. And everywhere you went, right, it was from golf courses to my own street to everybody's street around, either had an emergency or something that required your attention. And it's the officers we recognize tonight, but it's also the EMTs and the firefighters and the DPW and everybody that makes this a great town. And tonight we highlight your accomplishments and your service to the community, and there isn't enough thanks in the world. And you always respond both professionally, quickly, and keep us safe every single day, so that, you know, to be completely honest, we're not in the news. Right? I don't think anybody up here or anybody in this community knew all of those things before, and that's a credit to you, not taking to working selflessly, but also recognizing that you're keeping us all safe, that we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff on a daily day. So thank you.
All right, I got a checklist of stuff. First thing I got to get out of the way is Colleen. So I'm a chatterbox, and she lives on my block. I see her all the time. If she's late for work, it's probably my fault because I'm talking to her. I've told her this is how dedicated she is. I told her, tell them the mayor, you're talking to the mayor, tough, you're going to be 5 minutes late. And she says, I can't do that, and she drives away from me in the middle of the sentence. So she's right, pretty dedicated on that one. So it's a thankless job at times, right? It's a tough job. Now, what a lot of people don't know in the audience or people at home watching this is you guys all ride Alpha cars. You guys all ride alone. So when you hear these words coming out and you hear, you know, someone, you heard Michelle comes across 3 people, she's by herself. I don't even know what shift you worked at that time, but she's by herself. So, you know, when you ride an Alpha car, you got a choice to make. You either hang tight and wait for somebody else to show up, or you do what you have to do. And everybody here chooses to do what they have to do. Now, I asked you guys to stay here because, and women to stay here, because you can't tell me that isn't one of the most exciting, exhilarating, like you don't know what's gonna happen, but you do it, right? you do it. And for whatever reason, you keep doing it. And you can't figure out why. You're by yourself in the middle of the night, you got 4 people with ski masks on. I've made a list. We got robbery, we got car thefts, we've got bank robbery, armed robbery, 2 CPRs, 1 overdose, 1 suicide, numerous gun possessions. DUIs, we got a Union County leader in DUIs. Listen, times have changed. I don't have sympathy for DUIs. You know, if you could do 100, you know, a month, that's fantastic. You know, how many lives did you save from the DUIs? Who knows? You know why? Because they're in jail. So fantastic. Keep them up. Keep locking them up. We're behind you. I've said it, 6 years we're up here. Alex and I, 6 years we're up here. Rich is up here 15. He's like the Tom Brady of Springfield. Chris is up here 7. You know, we've said it over and over again. We're behind you. You do what you have to do. We will support you till the end. I can't say it another way. But what we ask for you is that you continue to do outstanding work. You're not just here for yourselves for a paycheck. You're here because our kids walk the streets. Our cars are parked here in the driveways at night. You know, our windows are open. You know, that's not a sleepy town. You want to talk about, let's go on to Baltusrol. It's one of the top golf courses in the world. I was going to say in the United States, in the world. Imagine if something happened at an event like Baltusrol. Imagine that. You know, when I was in Newark, we made sure that the Prudential, they spent, I don't know what they spent, $300 million, $350 million on that arena. We made sure that that place was protected from top to bottom. That is what has to be. It's not easy when you have Baltusrol have, you know, thousands of people funneling in here who want to see, you know, a world famous golf course and you know, tournament here. There's a lot involved. It's not just a, you know, listen, here's an award for doing some paperwork. There's a lot of logistics to all of this. So take it back to anybody that wasn't there or wasn't here and all your coworkers. We thank you guys. Go to work. Keep going to work. Keep doing what you're doing, and we will stand behind you till the end. Thank you. And try to smile for some pictures next time. No. Have a great day. You guys, you don't want to be tortured with the rest of this meeting. We have anything else, or we're good with them, or we're good with them? A 5-minute recess while everybody clears out. All right, let's head back. Congratulations, Maureen. You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's exciting to have that done, right?
Sorry, I had to embarrass you a little bit. Sorry, I apologize.
I heard the screaming from my office. I thought it was the kids at the Caldwell School on the playground.
Now,
Yeah, it was the front office.
I will tell you something that I don't know if you know. It's a small office, you might be able to hear, but your colleagues talk very highly of you. I mean, very highly. Like, according to John and Linda, you're probably the best thing that we've done in terms of personnel up there, so they really love you, so.
We love working with you.
All right, let's go on to, we got anything else? Anybody want to say anything before we go? Okay, no? Rich is like, keep it moving. We're going to go to public comment. Public comment on agenda items only. If anybody has any public comment on agenda items only, please step up to the mic. I'll give it a second. We don't have any emails on public comment on agenda items only. So seeing none, I'm going to move on to our administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to start out with our redevelopment projects. The Saks project, just to give you an update, 32 townhomes at this point have been rented out of 47. They're starting to rent the apartments this month. A third will be rented in June, a third in July, a third in August. So by August, they should be completely done and up and running. I was over today at Patriots Way. They're doing drainage, and they've started to dig for the foundation. So that project has started. We had our monthly meeting with Gomes yesterday, and updates that you guys would be interested in is tomorrow the fence is going to be delivered for Caldwell. That's to go against the building. This is a chain link fence. At that point, once that fence is up, the wooden fence will come down, the barriers will go. They're gonna pave where the driveway, there's a driveway at the very end. They're gonna put a strip across that to be able to open up the sidewalk. That sidewalk is paved. If you look in there now, that's entirely paved with pavers. They did a very nice job on it, so that's done. The stone cladding now is finished on Caldwell, Morris, and down center. The only thing that's really left is the courtyard inside. So they're moving along at a pretty good pace. We've had a bunch of inspections done. Everything has been either passed or repaired if it wasn't passed. So we're doing pretty well there. We'll continue to keep on them, and I'll keep you updated on what's going on. Let's touch on a couple other things. We applied for a New Jersey DOT grant, about $600,000 for Lawrence and Diamond Road. We also applied for, there was a grant that was out from Keene and Booker. There was two that we could apply for, $950,000. I don't know if we're going to get that. It's probably unlikely that it would come, unfortunately, to Springfield, but we put it in and we gave it a shot. We should get our reimbursement for Cottage, should be coming in shortly for $120,000, Diane. You should see that check very shortly. Let's go on to a couple things we're working on. On drainage, we just replaced 260 feet of storm sewer pipe on Hawthorne. We also replaced an older damaged brick storm basin with a new precast inlet, sorry. We just prepped and grouted 600 feet of sanitary pipe on Center. We're getting a lot of infiltration on Center Street. If you open up the manholes, there's just water running in. So we relined that. That's scheduled to be re-sleeved and stop the infiltration. We prepped it and grouted it, but we are gonna reline it. So that should be done shortly. We got some paving projects. Full length of Surrey, Kane from South Maple to Joanna Way, full length of Joanna Way, and full length of Pitt Road. They'll be done this year. Pumping stations. We just put the bid out for Johanna Way. We had 5 bidders so far pick it up. This is a major project. We're probably looking at $1 million. And again, I know it's not sexy, nobody sees it, but when it doesn't work, we'll be sorry. So, all of these stations, you have to realize, they're original. We're 40 or 50 years old on Joanna Way. Parts are no longer available. So everything that's in there is just antiquated. All three sanitary stations are going some type of pump repair or replacement. We've got those out right now to be worked on those. Shared service, we're working with Milburn to reduce some capital costs by joint purchase of equipment that Craig's been working on for us. We should have that shortly. We're working with OEM to prepare for July 4th. And I do have something to report that's not great. Our jitney bus, we got a call that there's a recall on it. The oil pump has got a problem. Now, as anybody that knows cars, Mr. Mayor, we can't fool around with the oil pump. We'll end up with a seized engine. So we're waiting for the parts to come in. Actually, it's going to be taken to Maple Crest, so it's local. So hopefully, in the meantime, it's a good thing we held on to the old one, or we'd have no jitney bus. So as soon as that can be done, we'll make sure that that's back up and running. But again, we really have no choice on that. The tennis courts, we're waiting the final color coding on the Henshaw tennis courts. And I think that was all that I had for the moment. If anybody has any questions or comments, I'd be happy to.
Can we look at possibly stashing the old jitney bus somewhere? We can't survive without a jitney if it happens.
I know, but the problem is when you let it lay, it just goes bad. It just, you know that with cars. You park it in the garage, and this thing isn't cheap to maintain or to fix. So I think we'd be better served selling it while it's still worth something, and maybe we can look at some point in the not-too-distant future, maybe buying another one, so we got a backup. We have 2 newer buses. So, are there any other questions or comments?
This one is for you and the chief. I know a lot of citizens have said things. I happen to be driving around town today. I'm on the way up to the Citro station, over that way. And this was when the schools were just getting out. And there was a tractor trailer in front of me. It went over South Springfield Avenue, past middle school, past, well, St. James's, there. But we gotta do something about, I don't want a tractor trailer at kids getting out of school. They don't pay attention to anything. I don't want that happening and, somebody getting hurt. I know.
I don't know legally, can we restrict that on that is the truck route. It's a county road on top, so I don't know if we would have the authority to post, no trucks from 2:30 to 3:30.
I'm worried about the kids.
I get it. I just don't know if we have the authority, Chief.
Yeah, no, I don't believe we do. I mean, there hasn't been any issues, as long as I've been here.
Tractor trailer at that time.
Yeah, they're usually, I've never had a problem with the trucks there driving recklessly or speeding. I think the ones that do it it's a common route for them, and I think they know pretty much. I mean, there's really not much we can do. I mean, we can't deny them that is one of the labeled truck routes.
My guess is I don't think they want to be there when school's letting out either.
I do want to let you know, though, speaking of school, I was driving home today. It was after school hours. I don't know how long after school, shortly after. I'm waiting to make a right. I'm going eastbound on Marst Avenue, waiting to make a right onto Center Street, and it's the no turn on red during that time, and there was a car in the right-hand only lane that proceeded to go through the light on green, and there was one of our guys, came out of nowhere. I don't even know where it came from. I don't know if he was Hunan Spring or whatever, but pulled him over right away. So, I mean, they are, to your credit, they are out there, they are diligent, especially.
The chief and I have had this conversation multiple times. He's looking into that because that is a huge issue.
They just, and as fast as he went through and did not make the right, our guys were out.
I love it.
Even faster, so. That's great.
Okay,
We're good.
Move on to minutes.
I would like to make a motion to approve regular meeting minutes of May 14th, 2024 as emailed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
New business.
Ordinance for second reading. Ordinance 2024-06. This ordinance amends Chapter 29 of the Township Code to add provisions regulating the storage of salt and other solid de-icing materials on private property.
Mr. Mayor, is read by Town Clerk. And Ordinance 2024-06, publication in the local source, June 20th, 24.
Oh, are we still going? Second?
All right. Any public comment on ordinance 2024-06? Anybody up here have anything?
No.
No, we covered this the last time. This is,
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Roll call.
roll call, please, yeah.
Committeeman Huber? Committeeman Kaiser? Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-07, this ordinance amends provisions in Chapter 7 of the Township Code regarding certain streets where stopping or standing is prohibited during certain hours.
Mr. Mayor, is read by Clerk. 2024-07, ordinance 2020-07, publication in the local source, June 20th, 2024.
I second.
Okay, any public comment on 2024-07?
No.
We went through this one also.
Yeah, did you say public comment?
Yeah, any public comment at all on 2024-07, which amends parking? It stops parking on Mountain Avenue on school days from 7 to 9 and 2 to 4, from Trivet to Caldwell. No comments. Okay, roll call?
Committeeman Huber? Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-08, this ordinance amends the land use provisions at Chapter 35 of the Township Code.
Mr. Mayor, read by Madam Clerk. 2024-08, and publication in the local source, June 20th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, any public comment on 2024-08, which amends land use provisions? Chapter 35 of Township Code. We also covered this one last meeting, I believe?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, seeing nothing. Roll call vote, please.
Committeeman Huber? Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Okay, and for first reading, we have ordinance 2024-10. This ordinance authorizes the sale of an undersized remnant lot not needed for public use to the highest bidder among contiguous property owners.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-10 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source on June 20th, 2024, with the final hearing scheduled for Wednesday, July 17th, 2024.
Second.
Okay. Let's go on to discussion. Can you fill us in on this one, please? Craig?
Yeah, but what happened here somehow is, it was like somebody started building from the left, somebody started building from the right, and they didn't meet, and there's a strip of land between two lots about 4 feet wide. So it's totally useless unless you're one of the neighbors on either side, really, that could incorporate it into their land. Right now, it's owned by the township. It's of no value to us, really. So we had actually done this once before, Craig, correct? We had auctioned it off, but it just, at that point, no one came in to pay for it, and it just went by the wayside. The owner on the one lot came to me and said he would like to see about buying it.
So this will be a public auction, but it's limited to the 3 contiguous property owners first. And if none of them bid on it, or none bid at the minimum or higher value, then the township will have the option of putting it out to public bid for anyone to bid on.
So if you want 4 feet.
Yeah, does this change their property line? If somebody wants it and does it, does this change the size of their property, or is it just a separate?
Yes, for the contiguous, for any of the three contiguous property owners, yeah, it'll expand their property a little bit by, like John said, it's about 5 feet wide. It's only 500 square feet.
All right. This doesn't happen often, I don't think, right?
No, very, very rare.
How does the town own it? How does the town own it?
I'm gonna build a tent on there.
It's not clear.
It's not wide enough to build a tent.
Probably, it was probably some sort of right-of-way from, back in the day.
Imagine them walking out and there I am camped out, I'm right here,
I own this piece of property now.
my piece of property.
A little fence
boy.
around it.
All right, if there's no discussion, anymore on that.
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber? Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-11.
Before you read that, I just want to ask one question. This would be for you, John. I've been going down, coming down Morris Avenue. You know where 78 is, right over here?
Yeah.
There was a building that was put there, and I thought they had the land behind it also. There was a tree cut down, and it's been laying there. Is that theirs, or is that us?
I'd have to see we'd have to look at it, but anything that was cut down, is it on Morris Ave?
It's, if you're going down, it's on the left-hand side, coming down toward, on the left-hand side, I saw a tree that was cut down and laying there in pieces. I don't know whose it is.
We'll take a look at it, but the state cut down all of those trees on Morris Avenue.
Okay.
When you see the ones with the stumps,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the state did cut those down. But I will check with DPW tomorrow, and I'll get back to you.
I just wanted to make sure. Okay, I'm sorry.
Ordinance 2024-11. This ordinance amends provisions of the Township Code to create the position of leave replacement clerk, administrative assistant.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-11 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source on June 13th, 2024, with the final hearing scheduled for Tuesday, June 25th, 2024.
I second.
All right, discussion on this?
Any question?
Any questions at all on this up here?
No, this is in regards to the court, right?
Yeah, it's in regards to, we've got one of our employees actually got hurt at her house, not here, and this is just for a fill-in while she's out. It's just part-time. Craig, I know you crafted this, so I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, the town, and my understanding is we might have had the position like this a long time ago, but it may have been eliminated. It's a position, it creates a position that's really like a part-time on an on-call basis, so that the administration has the ability, after an individual or individuals are hired, to fill temporary absences that are necessary to be filled, that can't be covered by other employees.
Okay.
Okay, roll
Roll
call.
call, please. Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-12. This ordinance amends the existing ordinances governing certain employment positions and establishes compensation levels for such positions within the Township of Springfield.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-12 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source on June 13th, 2024, with a final hearing on Tuesday, June 25th, 2024.
Okay, discussion. This is a different one.
Well, it's related to the last one.
It's related.
Right. Potential shared services. Yeah, please.
Okay. So this is a salary/compensation ordinance. It does two things. There are two different positions in here. One is the position that was referenced in ordinance 2024-11 that creates the compensation range for that position. And the other one relates to the chief financial officer position and paves the way for a potential shared services agreement for those services with another municipality, and provides a basis for the township to provide additional compensation to the employee that would be reimbursed back to the town through a potential shared services agreement. I say potential because we don't have the shared services agreement quite ready yet, but we expect that to be the case at the next meeting.
But at the end of the day, I think the thing we want to make perfectly clear is this does not cost the township anything. We're totally reimbursed for all costs.
It actually will save us a little bit.
We're gonna save money actually on it, and there's some administration fee in there and things like that, so.
Okay.
Right. The details will be hammered out, and they should be hammered out in time for a resolution at the next meeting on the 25th.
Okay. Any other questions on that? No? All right, roll call, please.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Wants to keep this
Yes.
moving.
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Mayor Weber?
Can't get better than Rich. Yes.
Okay, and the last ordinance for first reading, ordinance 2024-13. This ordinance amends the Township Code to adopt updated regulations governing tree removal and replacement in accordance with the guidance from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-13 as read by Madam Clerk with publication in the local source on June 20th, 2024, with the final hearing on Wednesday, July 17th, 2024.
I will second.
All right, discussion. What is changed on this?
This was written by our forester. It's much more comprehensive than what we've ever had in the past.
Would you like me to highlight the changes?
Yeah, would you?
As John mentioned, this is the initiative of the new forester that was appointed by the township last year. The primary changes, this replaces the existing, in its entirety, the existing shade tree ordinance. The primary changes are it increases the threshold size for trees that our tree ordinance would apply to. So it used to be a 4-inch diameter tree. Now it's more than double that. It's a 10-inch diameter tree. So anything less than 10 inches isn't subject to the fee structure and other things for removal of trees. It also lowers the application fee for the removal of individual trees themselves. And then it adds a number of comprehensive provisions. It adds a couple exceptions. One of the exceptions is dead trees, trees that have to be removed. People will still be responsible for ensuring that they're removed, but the fees, et cetera, won't apply. It provides a lot of oversight, additional oversight by the forester. It provides for enforcement principally by the forester, but it also allows for designees to enforce the ordinance in his absence. It also it expands the protections and has some additional sort of regulations aimed at construction sites, so that there aren't any activities at construction sites that would be harmful to existing trees, attempts to protect them. It also has a new registration requirement for tree removal contractors. This is important because some of the more difficult parts about implementing and enforcing our prior shade tree ordinance, and really any shade tree ordinance, has to do with the companies that come in and perform these services on behalf of residents and businesses and other property owners. And we've had some difficulty from an enforcement standpoint there. This provides a registration requirement before such contractors can be involved in these activities within the township. There's a modest fee for that purpose and renewal requirements, and the important portions of it are that it creates they have to demonstrate that they have insurance and that they're licensed. So it serves as a protection really to the homeowners and the other property owners in town to help ensure that when they are getting a contractor that they're going to know what they're doing and that they're following the protections that are laid out in the ordinance. I know all of you have seen this ordinance already and have reviewed it. So that's sort of a highlight of the major changes compared to our existing ordinance.
Wait, go over the diameter again?
The diameter used to be that in order for, if a property owner was looking to remove any tree starting at 4-inch diameter, then our tree removal fees and application and permit requirements.
So if you're an
apply.
8-inch tree, you don't have to apply for a permit?
Correct.
So this is weakening our existing statute.
It creates a higher threshold. This is at the recommendation of our forester. But it has more stringent requirements for the trees that it does apply to, including fairly stringent replacement requirements.
And what's the replacement? I mean, if I cut down a 10-inch tree, do I have to replace it with a 10-inch tree? Or can I could replace it with a 4-inch tree?
The replacements are, I think the replacements are, they're they're not comparable. You're not gonna be able, it's gonna be difficult to replace it with a similarly sized tree. But it's based on the number. So depending on the number, you can see in the table, if it's a 10 to 15-inch tree, there's a one tree replacement. But then for any tree that's 15 to 20 inches, you have to replace it with 2 trees. And it goes up from there with the larger you get, the more trees you have to replace per tree removed. And there's also requirements that you don't just replace it, you have to maintain it. So the forester is going to be going back and monitoring the replacement trees to ensure that it's being done appropriately and in a way that will sort of maximize the success rate for them as well.
Just a comment here. I can't visualize necessarily like 10 inch. To me, that's a pretty small tree. But I would be worried about potential redevelopment lots, which say we did recently on Route 22, right, was floor to core. There were, I forget how many trees counted, but don't call me off the top of my head, say 100, right? Some of those were weaker trees, but we were able to get that company to pay because they were smaller trees, and that was probably a good thing. I would be worried about larger lots that they're able to skirt around and not be held responsible and kind of clear cut.
But that was part of the agreement with Floor and Decor when they came in.
You would, but I can
They
address
were-
that as well.
That
So
was negotiated, that they had to replace those.
The ordinance now requires that there be, prior to the approval of site plan applications, the forest has to be involved as well, so that whether it's a minor site plan, major site plan, whether there's a subdivision, the forester will be involved in the process of determining what's an appropriate sort of reforest, if you want to call it a reforestation plan, for that property. Sometimes there may be properties where you may not be able to replace trees, but you'd be required to make a payment in lieu thereof, such tree, which is a significant amount, $400.
For any size tree, am I correct?
Correct. Well,
Under 10
In other words,
inches.
for purposes of replacement.
Yeah, I mean, they still have to come to here and go over the trees. If I'm putting an addition on my house and I'm taking a tree down, they still have to come here and get an approval of everything else, am I correct?
Correct, yes. This doesn't change any of the other approval processes. It adds, in some cases, adds an additional layer if there's a tree removal involved as part of whatever that site plan is.
The town, but he's involved, the forester or whatever his name is.
Yes, at every step of the way.
Roll call.
Committeeman Kaiser.
I will vote to move this forward, but I would like to hear from the forester on why. And I would imagine there's not many trees between that 4 to 10 inches, but I would like to hear from him personally on why that was. And because I believe that we modeled this legislation, this ordinance after somewhere else. So I'm sure Craig didn't come up with 4 on his own, but I'm sure that was seen somewhere else.
It's modeled
Somebody
after
else's.
new DEP ordinance.
The diameter was a recommendation of the forester.
So, I would like to hear from him personally as a councilman, but I will vote to move it forward.
Committeeman Capides.
Yes.
Committeeman Huber.
Yes.
Mayor Weber.
Yes.
Not on that.
Not on that
It's a
yet.
first reading.
Second read.
At the end of the meeting, you can come.
Right.
Resolutions.
All right, we'll go to resolutions. We're looking for approval by consent agenda. Resolutions 2024-143, 2024-144, 2024-145, 2024-146, 2024-147, 2024-148, 2024-149, 2024-150, 2024-151, 2024-152, 2024-153, 2024-154, and 2024-155.
Please pull the last one, and just for clarity, the only purpose is for me to abstain, so I have no other comment.
All right. Mr. Mayor, resolutions 2024-143 to 2024-154, right?
Yes.
Or is that 35?
150.
43 to 154, am I correct?
Yes. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Mayor Weber?
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 2024-155. This resolution accepts the retirement of Officer Joseph M. Leniart. I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2024-155 as read by Madam Clerk.
Second.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Abstain.
Mayor Weber?
Yes. Move on to discussion and action items.
I would like to move for approval of the request by the Soccer Club of Springfield for a $50 program credit from the Springfield Rec Department to support the basket auction at the annual pool party fundraiser on Friday, June 14th.
Second.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yep.
Mayor Weber?
Yes. Move on to finance.
I'll make a motion to adopt payroll and invoices for the period of May 29th, 2024 through June 11th, 2024 in the amount of $1,954,284.97. Do you have a second? Roll call.
Committeeman Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes, ma'am.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Mayor Weber?
Yes. Correspondence, we have Westfield Ordinance 2024-13, 2024-14, and 2024-15, public hearing scheduled June 11, 2024, at 8 p.m., Council Chambers, Westfield Municipal Building. And then we have the Union Zoning Board of Adjustment, June 12th, 7:30, Union Municipal Building, public hearing for BASF Corp. for variance, for use variance. That's all under correspondence. We're going to move to public comment on any governmental issue. Before I go to the public, I have an email I just want to get out of the way. This is for Chief Cook. This is from Michael Bartosh of 77 Tudor Court. Question for the TC members and Chief Cook. Is our police department fully staffed or additional officers needed? That is a loaded question, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's a loaded question. Well, what I can say, or will say, is as of, we just passed the resolution 155, I am one officer down due to the officer that put in for retirement. So I'm one officer short from where we've been for the past several years.
Okay, so we're one officer short from where we've been for the last 7 years. Several years, sorry.
Yeah.
My comment on that is you can never have enough cops and fire and everything else, but you got to pay for it all. Right now, according to our organizational chart, we are steady and okay. And we are one short now, like we have on that. Two short, one short?
According to the organizational chart?
Yeah,
I mean, it allots for 45. We've never had 45, but.
we've never reached 45 yet.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, now it states 50, but when we did that, I explained why I had asked for that.
Anticipation
Correct, of all the redevelopment.
of
Correct.
redevelopment and future need of PD.
Correct.
Can I make a comment?
Go ahead, absolutely.
I made it very clear when I voted that, and I was concerned, and I know we talked about it, Chris, like we do a lot of things, that I was concerned going to 50. Would people always play politics? And they'll point to 50 and say, oh, look, this council wasn't filling it. That is not what is happening here. I just want to make that perfectly clear. I don't think anybody up here, I don't want to accuse anybody of asking that question loaded, but it gets time to silly season up here. And when you try to pull out something and then try to use what is stated by Chief and all of us up here, hey, we allowed 50 for a reason. We allowed it specifically to ensure that we allow our departments the growth it possibly needs for future generations as we continue to explore redevelopment. It's never intended that we would immediately go to 50, but giving us the flexibility and giving the administration flexibility to handle it. We, all of us, as Mayor Weber has stated earlier today, we have the backs of the police, 110%. I have committed personally that once if and when the cannabis shop is approved, that we will get another officer from money allocated from that. And we have continually, I thought, in my entire time up here, filled those vacancies when either retirement or somebody leaves for a better position, that we fill it and address it in an expedient manner, and I think that the records has proved that. So I just don't want anything to up here, because Chief Cook is gonna be honest, right? And he's gonna
Yeah,
say what
no,
the ordinance says, 50.
I'm the one who
but then-
brought that to your attention.
Exactly, so, but then people can
No problem with
try to twist that.
Yeah.
And I wanna put that stopped right now.
No, I went on record stating that when we first were able to increase it to 50. I went on record what the purpose is for that.
Okay, all right, so now, thank you, sir, for your question. Now we're going to go on to public comment, any governmental issue. If you have any comment on anything, come on up to the mic. I need a name, an address, and your comment. Hi.
Hey, everybody, you're doing a great job. Dominic Sayuda, 97 Colfax Road. Okay, how you doing? I had a question. Coming back from last year, is there anything in the budget we need to be concerned about that's going to raise taxes? Because this was the question that was asked. You should have come in June last year. So I'm asking now, is there anything in the budget right now that we have to be worried about that's going to raise taxes in August? We're going to get a big surprise. Anything we need to know?
That's the budget.
Anything,
Put
go
out
ahead.
there for the public to see. We had the public involved with Alex. Alex knows more about it than I do. But we have people from the public. We asked help, and they went with Alex and Harris, right? Alex and Harris. They went there with Diane, and they made the budget up, and they know exactly what it was. It wasn't just
Okay.
us saying, are the taxes going to get it higher? Yes. I'm not going to lie to you. I said, my taxes get higher
Okay.
every year.
No, it's just wanted to know.
Oh, that's-
So there's no surprises, just wanted to know. It's June.
It's that was a few weeks ago, and I already forget the numbers off the top of my head, but the rate is not as large as last year, which last year was affected for a whole heck of a lot of reasons, but most notably was coming a year plus after the reassessment. So the reassessment was the large contributor to last year as certain properties, commercial notably, and apartment buildings started to litigate and put the burden back on the homeowners. So we don't have necessarily that surprise that we had, that we'll deem it a surprise as this year. Hey, normal costs certainly went up, but I think we continued to try to, as we've done every year, continue to try to do our best with it, and I don't think it'll be as a larger shock than last year.
Like 8, 10% as a,
It was $90 per household or something in that area?
The average assessed home.
okay.
Yeah, we think the average is, we think the average increase per household was somewhere in the $90 area for the
Okay,
year.
That's great. I
You
just
you
wanted
know,
to know.
on-
All right, no, it's good, now I know.
No,
So I see on Mountain Avenue is adorned with the US flags, it's awesome, it looks awesome. Can we do the same for Morris Avenue? Looking at the picture up there.
I don't know if we can, being a state highway, if we can do that, or we need clearance to do that.
I already had store owners ask me if they could do it.
No, I think the clearance comes from, and don't hold me accountable, but I just know, I think it comes from just the utility company. So I think we can explore that.
Robbie can look at that.
Yeah, and if it is, requires state approval, we can certainly work, other communities have. It might just take us some time.
Okay,
I can tell you that we tried to get approval to paint the bridges,
yeah,
and we're
yeah.
turned down.
Okay, good.
We had our head of DPW contact the state. We wanted to do something across there, you know, welcome to Springfield or so on,
Yeah.
across the bridges, going both sides. We were told, leave the bridges alone.
Oh, wow, okay.
So,
Years ago, we used to put lights on Morris Avenue. They did,
I remember,
since I've been here.
Really?
The business community, they used to put lights. No, but I don't know.
yeah, that's a
late
reasonable.
70s, it was adorned with American flags. I remember that in Springfield. It was a beautiful thing to see, that way back.
Let's look into it again.
The state doesn't cut the grass
Yeah.
by that bridge. They don't clean up the garbage by that bridge. I mean, it ends up being our
Yeah.
headache.
And we told them we would paint it. We'd pay for the cost. We
Yeah.
told them we'd pay for the cost to do it, to refurbish the outside of it, and it was a no. So we'll keep trying, but your request is
The flag.
very reasonable, yeah.
The picture says there's people that died on that street, you know?
Yep.
I mean,
Agreed.
you know, okay, so, you know, that's great. So, the sign up for the pool, early counts, are we looking good, bad, what, signups?
Crowded. I've been there. A lot of people.
A lot of people signed up, good, all right. Can we get a noise ordinance in town for Morris Avenue? I've asked for this before. There are these clown cars, they're up on the avenue, they're riding and they're jacking up the sound, and it's, people are jumping off the streets, you know, on Morris Avenue, and I don't say they're doing it on purpose, but they're riding up right behind people with revving the engines, and it's still an issue, you know, in town.
So,
I don't know if you can do a noise ordinance.
well,
We have
I'll
a
let,
noise ordinance.
I'll let the chief handle. I know that you've had details up there.
And
Hold on, I'll let the chief, you want to talk, do it now, or you want to do it afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, I can comment
Go
as
ahead.
far as I can on it. Yeah, unless we have decibel meters and we're able to prove that they're reaching a certain noise, yeah, they certainly annoy me as well.
Yep.
I do have officers specifically targeting that area, Morris Avenue, from, you know, Milburn Avenue, all the way down through the center, through the BP. As far as the reckless driving, the speeding, if there is anything with noise, I know at the state level, they've been trying to pass, and I think it's been held up since January, something to do with aftermarket muffler systems, which would make it a lot easier for us to enforce, but that's kind of been at a standstill since January. So, I mean, I don't know if that's letters that persons can write to whoever at the state level to try to push that. I know we've been trying to push it, but our hands are tied until they give us, you know, something, some tools to use.
all right,
Yeah, the noise is one thing, but, you know, we are aware of it and we do what we can within reason. But the speeding, we've certainly been trying to target that,
there's a lot more
those
people coming
problems.
in, you know, it's gonna get worse with some of
Yeah.
the people coming into
Yeah.
town. Okay, so I got a solution for the signage on that right turn by Caldwell. That right turn that everyone's going into the left lane. That overpass, we should put a sign there before that overpass going east on Morris Avenue. It says, hey, wake up, there's a right-hand turn, you can't be in this lane.
There is.
Some sign,
There is
a
one.
bigger
one.
sign, a more
gotta-
demarcation of that.
I think if we put a billboard up, it wouldn't stop it, quite frankly.
Yeah,
I think short of having a cement divider, that you can't,
You're right.
my-
it's really an enforcement issue that it's,
yeah, it's, what the police chief was saying, it's comical. I mean, my daughter goes to Calderon, and I watch from there, and the cars are just, you know, accidents like this.
I come
mean, you
down
could
it
have a
every
major
morning.
accident any day there, it's gonna happen.
I will tell you that, me driving it for all those years, I didn't know there was a sign there. I went down, my BA said there's a sign there, there's a sign there. I think what ends up happening is that it gets lost under the bridge between the lane dividings and markings and the darkness.
Yeah.
And we agreed 100% with what you say on it, so.
Yeah, some outlet, maybe fluorescent yellow or something to put there with the sign. But anyway, the completion date for Gomes project, are we looking at 2026 when it starts taking tenants?
the
Or
latest update we
2020?
got from them yesterday was a year from now. They're planning on the summer of '25.
Summer 25,
sheet rock
okay,
delivered.
okay. Air conditioning at the pool. I got done doing the pole working.
There's units on order.
Units on order, okay.
We've got
'cause
a breakdown. It had nothing to do with it, just,
The guys asked me that, the poll workers there asked me to
it's on
ask
order.
about it, because it was very hot.
It's on order.
Okay, no problem. All right, cool. And What is the law about renting a house, subletting your house in this town? We got the World Cup coming up. I remember getting phone calls from my house, people asking me, hey, are you gonna be gone for that week? You know, I wanna rent it for the World Cup. What, you know, what's the ruling on that?
There's a short-term rental ordinance on the books. You'd have to go and look at.
Okay.
It should be in the township code
Yeah.
by now.
Okay, some people were asking me in town about this, that's why I was
So
asking.
if you
Okay.
search under online, under the code, under
Okay.
short-term rental, you should find what you're looking for.
Okay. On Morrison Road, there's a no trespassing sign that was put up by the owner of the no junk place, the junk pickup place on Morrison. Long time ago, before he built that building, there was a pedestrian walkway where the kids would come out of school and they would walk across that sidewalk. That sidewalk disappeared when the junk place was built, the junk building. So he put a trespassing sign there. I don't know if that's legal, if that area is still considered public use. But
I don't know where the sign is.
the sign is wedged between the new junk place and that brick building where the law building is and the Dominic DeFiorenza's accounting office. Right there, kids used to walk all the way through there, you know, between two buildings. They used to walk there. But now there's a big sign there that says no trespassing.
So wait, so they're walking between two buildings?
Yes, but that,
I would think that's, was there a sidewalk or is it
but
private
there was a
property?
sidewalk there, yeah. There was a sidewalk there, because I've been here since 2002, and that's where all the kids would walk down that sidewalk. They wouldn't go around the letterbox.
I'll have to look at it. I don't know offhand.
So so I'm just saying there was an established sidewalk there. So people asked me to come and talk about that and bring it up to you.
We gotta see if that's public property or is that private?
Right, exactly. So, okay, so, next to the Thai restaurant in town, there's tons of garbage all over the place. At the Chinese restaurant or the Golden whatever Valley restaurant, or not restaurant, but
But in General Green?
yeah, General Green, there's garbage all over the place on the right side there. Tons of garbage, looks really bad.
Let me tell you, that is an issue constantly with them. Our zoning officer is over there constantly trying to get them to keep the place clean.
Yeah, it's never been cleaned. I mean,
Yeah, we at the planning board even put,
Yeah.
stipulations when new businesses come for occupancy. So, you know, first continue to report that to us.
I'll
so that-
have Bob go over tomorrow.
Yeah, so that at least we can make a record of it, and then when new occupants do come before the board, we can raise that. It helps. So,
yeah. Was there a reason the benches were taken in front of the pool? You have those benches at the pool, at the corner, at the caddy corner. The benches were just taken away where the garbage can was. I was wondering, a lot of senior citizens used to sit there and just talk, but that's all gone.
Don't know.
Don't know.
No.
Okay, well, they're missing.
I didn't know we removed them.
Yeah.
I think
I know they were there.
well, they
I
were
didn't know we
stolen then.
Yeah, we'll take a look at
The
that one.
benches
Don't
are
know.
gone, the metal benches, so.
Our DPW director will contact the state and then the utilities, JCP&L and Verizon about the flags.
Okay.
All right?
And I followed up with the issue at Meisel Park that I said that, you know, that long walkway where it's a dirt path, the cinder, I called the county, I said, this is a health issue. You have tons of kids playing on the field, and when you have dry days like we've had this last week, the pulverized dust floats over and people are breathing that in. You know, it's a carcinogen, it's bad. So I called and no answer. I called like 3 times. The county clerk was supposed to get back to me, or someone in the health department, they didn't get back to me.
They had
So
promised us a driveway paving. They were waiting for a DEP analysis to see if it was going to have an impact on flooding over there.
Okay,
That was the last I had heard of it about 2 months ago.
yeah.
That they're still waiting for the results back of that, of their study. The county wants to pave it. They're in agreement with us, so that's not going to be an issue from the county. They're getting held up from the DEP.
Someone's got to, if you guys can do anything
So,
and call them or something,
We're
because
we're calling, we're
there's
trying.
tons of soccer people playing. I see I run there every day, and the dust is like, oh, you know, it's crazy.
Okay.
So I have the forest problem, the forestry issue. Does it cover solar in any of those provisions? Is solar considered in any of those provisions for the diameter of the trees? If you want to
Now,
cut a tree
this
down?
ordinance was from the state, it was mandated ordinance for all municipalities, and that's where that came from, DEP.
Okay, so there's no consideration for solar projects going on with individual houses and the diameter of a tree. If I wanted to get it cut down, it has to be a certain diameter. or anything like that, or a tree that's it's on public property and I want to get it cut down because I want to get solar. Is there a diameter?
I'm sure you would still have to come for a
boundary.
building permit, and it would be subject to the forester looking at whatever you're doing at that point.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Chris?
Because we're answering at the same time. I mean, unless you want to,
But we allow people 5 minutes.
I understand, but.
No problem.
We're,
You know, I don't mean to stop you.
Yeah, no problem.
you have any other questions?
No problem. These were all questions that people asked me to bring, so I'm good, so. I'm good. That's all I got.
You sure? You got another one? I mean, listen, I'll answer them all.
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. All right,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good question?
My name is Dylan Sargis. I'm 142 Treetop Drive. I have a question for you, Mr. John. We have a pump station on Treetop Drive, and now there's hoses going up to the middle of the street, and there's cones blocking it. That's been happening for a very long time, and I drive, and it's annoying because you have people coming down, and I'm going up, not me in general, but my neighbors, and it's like that's how an accident can happen, but still, like, it's been there for a very long time, and I see a lot of DPW guys there, but do you know when that's going to be solved?
We had to order new impellers for both pumps are shot, and we're waiting for the parts to come in. As soon as we get them, they'll be repaired, and that will be the end of it.
Okay,
But
and-
unfortunately, we have to do what we have to do to keep
Yeah.
the station working right now. So,
And do you know an estimate, or it's just whenever it gets here?
I don't know if we got an estimate back on when they're gonna be in. I can check with our DPW director, because he ordered those probably, I don't know, probably more than a month ago.
Yeah, it's been like 2 months because it's like there's the cones and then you have like the fire hose in like the middle of the. They moved it to the grass now, but it's just like it's all in the, and then it like goes to the manhole in the middle of the street. So I just wanted to ask because when you were talking about that at the beginning of the meeting, I wanted to ask you that question.
I will find out for you. Let me see if my DPW director is still awake. Let's see. Rental pump is coming in on Thursday. That'll eliminate the hoses in the street. And then when the impellers come in, they will be repaired, so. Is there anything else we could do for you?
No, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Not a problem.
Mayor Weber, you're the best. Thank you, everybody.
So okay,
How much did he pay you?
wait, come on, public comment, come on, I'm gonna handle you in a second, Dylan.
Jenny Jo from 39 Crescent Road.
Mic down so you can,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm
thank you.
short, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Jenny Jo from 39 Crescent Road. I have a question. In the area, the safety area, it really is dangerous by the corner of the Scotty. I just today I learned it's like it's a tri-state area. I do not know who handling the traffic, but I tell you what happened to us, so you can help me figure out how to solve the problem. Now, I moved to this town, it's 11 years ago from Milburn. So we did not have that kind of problem. It's like a different town control the safety there. It's by Scotty. It's outside of Scotty on Martha Avenue. And we have a dog. We walk a dog cross street from Scotty to Milburn Avenue is all the time. But the light is crossing light very short. Sometimes we have to wait a couple lights to cross because the car keep running with like a red light on. And I give you the story. Just last Wednesday, it's 10 after 6 p.m. We trying to cross from Scotty, and the lights came out crossing, and then it's one car just passed the red light in front of us so fast. Then that light is moved. The car moved, then I'm sorry, I'm not good at this.
It's okay, just let it, there you go.
Then my husband took my dog walk to the road. Then I was standing ready to move. Another truck fly to here. Then I was yelling because my husband and my dog there did not pay attention, went to the red light. I said, no, no, no. And I yelled at the driver, and then the driver stopped, middle of the road. So it doesn't happen a lot. And the other day I did it's a test drive. We tried to figure out what the problem. Then we figure out it's because of the bus booth there. And the people, if they go straight on the right lane, they could not see the traffic light pole there because blocking by the bus booth. So that's the problem. And then this is the one thing. Another thing is the light, because of the intersection is so tricky. Multiple lights came out at a different time. People see far away light or close light, and they get confused. So they went through traffic light all the time. It's risky.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's controlled by the state.
Yeah,
That's a
why
state high. We
another-
don't control the timing of the lights or how long you get to cross. We have no, correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, we have no control over the safety signals setting the timing.
Right, the timing, correct. And I received 2 emails. I did receive
Yeah.
your emails,
Oh, yeah.
which
No, forgot.
I forwarded them to Lieutenant Westover for Special Services, and the captain and I to, we're going to take a look at it and see what there is, if there's anything we can do. Sometimes the timing might be off, but as you said, that's the state, and trying to get them to correct anything. If there's an obstruction, a vision obstruction somehow, then that's one thing. But if it's the timing, it's, you know, it takes, yeah, that's a very tough intersection. But I did get your emails, and we are looking into that, and someone should have called you. If they haven't, they should be calling you tomorrow, as I put that out to them to call you and reach out, just to let you know that we're looking at
I
it.
spoke to traffic officer Frank.
Yeah,
Today.
right, that's who
He
was supposed to call you.
explained to me that's a section, the problem. And that is the one thing. Another thing is outside of Scotty's.
Well, Scotty's is going, so that's gonna be gone.
That's good.
So hopefully what's
They're
gonna
so
go there will
bad.
be better.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I suffered 11 years. I was planning to move out, but I could not handle it.
Can I just make to throw it, because I was going to bring it up to you after the fact. That intersection with Scotty's, I know we worked on it like 2 years ago with Ryan, and the timing did become off. And it looks like, as I frequently do use that, when you are at Scotty's and you make a right on red, the timing looks like it kicked back off again, that you're immediately stopping where when you're on Morris Avenue, and that has historically not been the case. So it happened like 2 years ago. The timing got off by a few seconds, and I remember when I was mayor, a couple of people in that area were emailing about that, and we did get the state to rectify it, but I think the timing it's starting to whatever, the timing just gives out after a certain amount of time. And I've noticed it for the first time the other day that it was off. So,
Sorry.
No,
I
no.
also wanted to jump in. I completely understand what you're saying. I drive in that neighborhood all weekend, every weekend, to get where I need to go, because a lot of my stuff is on that end of town. And not only is the light a problem, but another concern for me, and Chief, if you can take a look at this, is that intersection. When you come, I think that's Baltusrol, after you come over 78, and then you have that straightaway, and then you wind and you curve to the right, you can't make a left-hand turn at that light. So when people are coming over the bridge and through that S and along that straightaway, down by the park, they swing around to the right and then immediately go to the left onto Crescent. And I myself has had a lot of close calls with cars that are on Crescent looking to make a right onto Baltusrol to go towards over the 78 bridge, colliding with people that are trying to make a left on Crescent because they can't make a right at that light. So if there's anything, and again, it's not a residential, not a big residential area, but if we can, I know this is a word that we don't like using, but even maybe the speed bumps or just along that straightaway by the park, so people know to slow down when they come around that corner and then to the right, and then have to immediately go to the left onto Crescent. There's been several close calls, again, that I've had personally, when cars are at the end of Crescent, looking to make a right onto Baltusrol, and people are coming down Baltusrol, looking to make a left onto Crescent.
That's
So
right.
that's another piece. If you're looking in that neighborhood, if you could also do a traffic study on that, that would be something that you could look into too, because a lot of cars use that straightaway by passing the park, and I don't remember the name of the park offhand.
Cohen.
Cohen. They use that as a straightaway, so they're flying around that right-hand side, and then when they have to cut the wheel hard to the left to get to Crescent, it's not always.
Is it possible to look at
Yeah, I
maybe
will-
turning
I will-
Crescent
I will-
into a
I will
one-way?
more.
One-way out and then come down and make the right over there by Scotty's and,
I don't know how the neighbors would feel about that.
yeah, I don't know if that's
I'll
possible.
take a look at it to see if there's anything else,
Okay,
to see what possibilities are there.
we will
That's
take a look
on
into
my
it, thank you.
email. I will explain that. In that, from the Crescent Road to the Baltimore Way.
Yep.
My house is on the corner. So now we work from home, and we found out so many problems in that area.
We will,
Because only one stop sign from Crescent Road, but on the Boston Way is like it's nothing stop, no cross line, is no speed bump, and the people drove 40, 50, 60 mile per hour. They chasing on the road, and they make a right turn is to the Crescent Road. Most drunk people, we do not talk about that because they're gone, and it's so fast through the garbage. My long lawn, so that's gone. But the thing is, from the park, they are so tight. They want to make a left turn. They're so fast. Many times hit the curb to my property.
we will have them take a look at it all, and we will get back to you, and we will have them take a look at the whole thing. Yeah, give us a chance to look at it all.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
In that Crescent Road is light traffic. The big truck can carry a lot of big trailer with a lot of cars on the top. It's like a big truck goes through there, and so small corner, they want to make a turn with.
Yep, we will look at that whole entire area and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, one more thing, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
come
It's
on.
the same area.
Okay.
I used up a
Yeah.
lot of her time, and I'm not
ahead.
dismissing your concerns. They were very,
Yeah.
very valid about that light, but I wanted to
ahead.
also bring up
Yeah,
that other stuff.
from the Baltimore way to the Mars Avenue, is that by the Scotty, they have a sign saying no left turn. People make a left turn, illegal left turn to Mars Turnpike all the time. Is we are trying to like cross street walk dog. Is no crossing like a line there, and people just fly all the time. And also from Mars Turnpike, people from Milburn Avenue make a left turn on the Baltimore Way, and then people cannot see any speed. And the office Frank told me is on the Mars Turnpike, not on the beginning of the Baltimore Way. That road, there's no speed sign, so people really flying. They're flying so quick, make a turn, and they're flying on the road. We live there, and we heard of people like
I promise you, we will evaluate the entire area. Guarantee it.
I'm sorry, one more.
No.
The outside, Scotty have, is the garbage can there. They fall all the time, people through the.
They will be
garbage there.
gone. That building is closing.
Yeah,
That will be history soon.
okay.
That will be gone.
Somebody will keep cleaning because we
Nope.
have to walk there every day.
That will be gone very soon.
Okay.
We have,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
for
thank
your
you.
patience With me, okay.
thank you.
Oh, you broke the microphone.
Bob Groder, 98 Washington Avenue. I'd like to make a request you allow people to speak more than 5 minutes. Oh, wait a minute, you're ready too. That's not why I'm here, I was being funny. My legitimate question is about the pool. I saw the problems with the kids, and I'm not a member, but I'm just curious that they're getting their feet scraped and everything. Are they going to correct it, the contractors, or is it going to naturally settle, or is it
Yeah,
just
but
some
let-
maintenance work, or
John has a letter.
who's in charge of that one?
Our BA will handle that. He'll,
That is a result of a new, what do you call it, the resurfacing we did. You have to remember that what was down there before was paint. We now have a quartz surface on there, so it's gonna be rough compared to paint. That will settle and smooth out in a short period of time. This is exactly what we expected. When we did this, we knew he had told us, the contractor told us that this was a distinct possibility. You're gonna get some spots here and there that may be a little rough, but as that sits over time, in a short period of time, that should be taken care of. One of the reasons you're getting it, especially with the kids, is that because their feet are tender, you're in the water for a half hour, and they're walking on, if you're walking on concrete that's not smooth. I mean, basically, that's what's happening. They're getting an abrasion.
Got it.
So it will go away very shortly.
Will it need painting, or it's just going to
No,
naturally
no, we
settle?
don't want to,
You don't wanna paint it.
that resurfacing is good for 15 years. We're not going to paint again. There is no painting. That was the idea of doing a quartz surface.
Okay, thank you, that was all I wanted to know.
And I was there on Sunday, walked around. I saw one with a little pin hole, and that was it. I mean,
It's every time it happens. There's nothing really we can do about it. It's gotta settle, it's gotta get smoothed out. And unfortunately, as the BA said, you have softer toes, younger kids, you're in the water, the skin gets very sensitive, and it's.
Are they allowed to wear protective gear then? You know,
they are.
we've asked
they
you
are,
to
okay.
let them wear water shoes so
You
they
don't want to
can.
see little kids getting hurt, you know?
They-
I'm
they-
not even
if
a
anybody-
member,
if
but
they
I
wanna
just see
wear
the
water
concern, and
shoes-
I was just wondering.
They want to wear water shoes, they can.
Gotcha, okay, thank you, that was all I had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Can I make two comments?
Yeah, I got some things, so you go, we got, public comment, if we're seeing no more others, we're gonna close public comment. No, Alex has just a few things, I have two things.
To the chief, right, we're beating up on the floor chief tonight. To talk about that area by Scotty's and the Wawa, and I know I brought it up, I continually see people as I come out of Cleveland and can't get across, and now I'm not saying anything to stop, but people continuously, they pick up speed when they come after the bridge past Wawa. So like they come up from Summit, they hit the bridge, and then they like smack on that the as fast as they can, like it's a straightaway. Is there a way, and I think that's a county road, can we ask the county to post the speed limit there and signs that would say slow down?
Back end of it.
Yeah, behind Wawa, I think that's Morris Turnpike. So they pick up speed once they hit the bridge. After the bridge from Summit, they hit the speed until they slam on the brakes if they get a red light coming into town. And unfortunately, in the summertime, and even regular, right, contractors park along Morris Turnpike, they cross that to get to Wawa. Kids routinely use Crescent or Crest, whatever it is, walk across. And unfortunately, I just think that a number of times in I-10, we're lucky somebody doesn't get hit, because the drivers just don't expect it. They pick up a thing. So maybe if reminder of speed signs, I don't know what else you can do. I'm not saying like speed bumps, but at least posting the speed or like a slow down, because I think it's just a natural occurrence if you're coming up that way. Yeah, just because the resident brought it up kind of in that area. And in regard, somebody mentioned the cars on Morris Avenue. You know, definitely, Chief, I know different times you do enforcement, and it seems like it slowed down for a while when we were really, when you and the squad was kind of like patrolling. Hey, the sound is one thing, but a lot of those times they're speeding up Morris Ave, they hit 24. I don't know, we might not be able to make their life miserable on the sound, but maybe we can, hey, get them on speed, because they're also just speeding up
Yeah,
along
no,
the way,
that's,
so.
my guys are still, they know I'm very strict with them.
Yeah, no, so you guys are good. I know it's slow, it goes, hey, it's like everything, right? A cycle. One of them might get nabbed 1 month, it slows down, and then they come back. So I think it's just a natural ebb and flow. So that's just my 2 cents.
Do we, Chief, you're on the seat again. Do we have a videotaped zone for internet transactions? We don't have one, right?
We had recommended a couple of years back, we had it on the back apron here.
It had been talked about, right? And
Yeah.
all right, let us know what you need from us to make that happen. And we'll come up with some kind of area around Town Hall, the police department or something like that, that'll be videotaped, and that way we can have, you know, if somebody wants to sell something on Craigslist or Facebook or
Yeah,
Marketplace or whatever.
no, we already have cameras back there.
Yeah, we can at least put up a sign, internet transaction zone or something like that. What, I thought we did too, but I think it
over time.
fell away or something, yeah. And I think we need a reminder out there. Do we have a pet chip reader? You don't?
That I don't.
Can we look into getting a pet chip reader, maybe?
I thought we partner with somebody, that's what I like a few years ago.
But
I don't know.
It might be animal control.
No, it was with like a local vet, I thought.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they get a dog at 12 o'clock at night, if we can.
It was like the emergency one. Hey,
I don't wanna
I thought I saw, when I first started, and I could be, when I first started, I could have sworn I saw one of your guys do it at PD, right in dispatch. Could have sworn.
Let us know what you need from us if you don't have one. I don't think we have one. I'm with you. A pet chip reader? I think we gotta look into that, just because, I mean, you know, listen, luckily, all of these pups have been found and have returned to their owners. I just, you know, I know that's hours of stress for that one. And the last thing, the 5 of us have been talking for a few years about trying to get youth involved in the township meetings, because there really just is a lack of interest and enthusiasm. Our first guy, so I have someone over here named Dylan Sargis, and Dylan contacted me, and we know each other through years, through school, and our kids go to school together. He goes to school with my kids and stuff like that. Thank you for coming here. It was interesting, right? You know, we wanted to get kids involved on a non political party level. We wanted to get kids involved in what we do here. You're the first one that showed up. I will tell you that if we'd love to have you here at every meeting, and if you have some friends or whatever around that can get involved, you get to see what's here. You came up and asked a question about a pumping station. You're not even 18 yet, are you? Fantastic question. So thank you for showing up with that. And with that said, bring some other people.
Hold on, I'll go even one further.
Go ahead.
You want to bring a group of people here? Like, if you bring like 5 people here, 6 people here, reach out to the office, and maybe before the meeting, we'll meet like a half hour early. I'll buy pizza for all of you. We'll sit and talk for a while.
That'd be
How about
pretty
that?
good. And you can go over the agenda and
Yeah, I'll buy pizza and soda, and we'll go over the agenda, we'll chill out, and we'll just chat about what's going on in town. All right? If you get 5, but you gotta get, not including you, get five people. All right, and then pizza and soda's on me.
And
All right.
if your parents are watching, this is just more of just them covering the agenda and looking at what we actually go through for the workings of the town. And Committeeman Capadese will, can I get pizza too? Yeah. All right. Motion to adjourn?
I want to see him go in his pocket.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.